the Southern Ocean.
Hang on!
Australia's deadliest stretch of water. But if you're game, there's big money to be made out here.
Couple of customers, $600 worth.
Sometimes you just need luck. You rub the wood.
We're not greedy, we just want more.
It's nearing the end of the rock lobster winter hunting season.
I'll take your finger off.
Yeah, we're off the mark!
Money!
For the lobstermen, it's their last chance to put cash in the bank
The bigger the better. If it weighs, it pays.
until the fishing grounds reopen in spring. Get it right, and they can make a fortune.
$12,000 worth.
But get it wrong,
Yeah.
and they can lose it all.
Game over now, I think.
This time,
Every time one of them 8-metre swells comes through, you have to change your undies.
a new special order for the bold contender.
That there does not pay the bills.
But has Skipper Squizzy bitten off more than he could chew?
Starting to regret that decision.
Shock news for the crew of the Perilous.
What do you reckon?
I don't know, I'd rather stay out here and fish. I rang Mum and she didn't answer, so I rang Sis, and Sis said, Mum, she's in hospital.
And gale force winds threaten to wipe out the entire lobster fleet. The Southern Ocean, Tasmania.
I wish Blakey never give us that extra 200 to catch, because what we're catching this morning, I just wish I went home yesterday.
And the crew of the bold contender is hunting for Brindle Lobsters. Skipper Squizzy accepted a new phone order for an extra 200 kilos of lobsters.
At the end of the day, they're the boss. We're just the servants.
The problem is this. A powerful storm front is moving across the Southern Ocean. It's due to hit in less than 24 hours.
Pulled 12 pots this morning for 5 lobsters, so that's not good enough, and it's very disappointing. Hopefully it picks up.
5 lobsters is about 5 kilos. Only 195 to go.
That there does not pay the bills. Lobster guides are telling me that the bowl contender's got its fair share of lobsters, and we're not going to give you any more.
Squizzy and Tabor have been working around the clock. They've already landed 687 lobsters for this special order. That's more than $40,000 net in the tank. The extra 200 is worth another $16,000.
A bit tired.
Fatigue can be deadly, but there's money for the taking if they can beat the storm.
Shut up shop overnight, the bastard.
Shit, shit, shit.
2.
If I went home yesterday, I'd be home right now, sitting on my couch. Instead, I'm here catching fuck all. Starting to regret that decision. I'm a bit tired today, getting the end of the trip. David looks tired. That's the biggest, probably, thing, is fatigue. You just got to be switched on all the time. The worst accident I've ever been involved in was I had to pick some fingers up off the deck. So, yeah, especially when you know the person.
The Minamara's poor run is continuing. Cock's bite was a dud. Bad weather,
Okay.
predators, empty pots,
Oh, that's not good.
and a stuck pot. They're now hunting in Amy's Bay. Their target, 500 kilos of big reds. They have no mobile phone or internet reception. Skipper Clive has to rely on the radio for weather updates.
There's a gale warning from the southwest coast. Northwesterly winds of 20 to 30 knots, seas 3 to 5 metres.
Clive wants to try his luck further north, but the weather forecast is not good. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Just how hard will depend on what's inside their pots.
Righto, here comes our first pot of the morning. See what happens. Hope I don't miss. Sucks missing the first one.
I reckon if we can find somewhere that hasn't been fished so much, we'd be all right. But just got to get away from here a bit, I think. If the weather lets us. At least in here we're not copping or hiding, but we're not catching a lot. So we're just biding our time, really. Hoping and praying that the weather's going to get better.
In the lobster game, all you need is one lucky pot to lift team spirits.
Looks good. Ching ching!
Oh, that one's a good one, eh? It's got a few in him. How many's that?
7,
7. You beauty.
8. Yeah, 9 beautiful reds out of one pot.
9.
There's a gale warning from the southwest coast.
Sorry, mate.
Squizzy and Tabor are fatigued, and that's when things can get dangerous.
A pot comes up and I nearly hit Tabor in the face with it. You right? I was mucking around with the computer. The hauler is the most dangerous thing on the boat. Lucky he was smart enough to back away. That was a lapse in just concentration. I wasn't doing my job properly, and it could have been a serious injury. Probably not to Tabor's face, because I don't think you can damage it anymore, really.
Squizzy and Tabor's first shot returned 65 brindles. They need another 135. But this will be their last shot before the storm hits.
That is shit. 45 knot winds from the northwest, then going southwest, and the swell building up to 8 metres. So, yeah, we don't want to be here. Let's get these on and get the fuck out of here, I reckon. Another blank one.
The brindles are not playing ball. Matt Syker Island. And despite a few unwelcome guests, the crew of the Barralee is tracking well. The old boys have 305 big reds in the tank, but things are about to come to a screeching halt.
All rats, never got one. Not one.
There's a few fish in these ones here, but there's nothing for us.
Empty.
Jesus!
More rats.
Rats is fishing slang for undersized lobsters.
Ah, very ratty, bit disappointing, actually. All little ones. It's Jai's fault because he told me to set them here.
The port of Dover. And Glenn, Warren's son, is trying to get his boat Anson's Bay fixed so he can join his dad back out at Matt Syker Island.
I still don't know what's going on. So we're not sure how long we're going to be out of action yet. Lee's just going to come and have a look now and see how we go, so hopefully it's not bad news and we can get back out there. Be either good news or bad news. To be honest with you, I hope Lee just don't jump on the boat and go bang bang and fixes it, because it just make me look a bit silly, because I'm not a super duper mechanic, but...
I'll just sneak over here, Lee, and turn these to power on.
Glenn is hoping the engine will be a quickish fix. He needs the money, and if he can't generate income, he risks losing his deckhand to another boat.
Yeah, no, the solenoid in the pump's actually shit itself.
What's that new pump? So we'll need a whole new fuel pump, yeah.
The verdict is in. It's worse than expected. The boat needs a new fuel pump and it needs to be shipped in from America. It will take a week to get here at best, and there's only 9 weeks left of the winter run to go.
It doesn't worry me having to buy a new fuel pump. That doesn't worry me. It's just a time factor. It's going to give me the shits. We want it fixed as quick as we can. Until this fuel pump's fixed, we're not going fishing, so we're playing a waiting game now.
Glenn's dad, Warren, is having a patchy run, but at least he's making money.
Crayfish!
They wasn't real bright, good big fish this morning, but there'll be 50 kilo. $4,500 worth of fish. I don't suppose you can really sneeze, can you?
The mood on the Barralee is positive, but they're in the direct line of the Stormfront. And Matt Syker is the last place you want to be when the swell turns ugly. The Southern Ocean, and there's rain to the west and sunshine to the east.
Oh, these are fucking shit. Pulled 6 pots and 2 fish, 3 fish.
Not fucking in. They've shut up shop.
The crew of the Bold Contender needs to giddy up and bag those 135 brindles if they want that extra $16,000.
They'll run and run. Crawl into our pots, and next minute they just stop. They just stay in their holes and they don't want to come out to play. And that's exactly what's happened today.
The sea can be like a casino sometimes, and gambling is not for everyone.
I suppose when you are fishing, it is a bit like gambling. You can go do a trip and lose a heap of money. And it's all luck as well. When the boat's full and you're steaming home and you think you're getting a certain price, the next minute you get an extra $5 or $10 a kilo. That's an awesome feeling. But when you get them trips going home, your boat's full of lobsters, and you think you're getting a price, and the next minute you're getting $10 less a kilo, you just lost 20 grand. That's a horrible feeling.
That's why Squizzy locked in his $80 per kilo minimum price before he took the special order.
This one's going to be good because we're going home. That's why this one's going to be good. Pots like that will get us to the finish line very quickly. A couple of nice ones in it. Might even get a smile out of Toby, you reckon? Nah, maybe not.
No excitement here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5! We got a 5! I'll take a 5. I thought this target would do it easy, to be honest, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight all the way to the line. Just a couple of lucky pots. That's all we need, a couple of lucky pots. Come on! Fucking oath. Give us a chance. Oh, yeah! This should be a good one. Looks good. Let's see how we go. Get the pressure off a bit. Six. 5. Never thought I'd get so excited about getting 5.
The Bold Contender has hit a purple patch, but the Stormfront is hot on their heels.
You can see it building from the west, getting very dark down there. You look to the east and looks like sunny Queensland. Let's get these on and get the fuck out of here, I reckon.
This is the latest news from the Department of Meteorology in Tasmania.
It looks like on the satellite imagery we've got quite a few fronts coming up over the next few days.
Supervising meteorologist Rachel McKinney is keeping a close eye on the data.
The system with the deep low to the southwest of WA looks like a pretty decent
So
one.
I suppose that's the one that's bringing a total wave height of 8 metres.
The Bold Contender, the Barralee and the William Norling are all in the direct line of the storm.
You can see we have a low with a surface trough just to the south of Tasmania, and then in behind that low we see strong to gale force winds impacting on the west coast. Looking at the total wind wave height here, The peak in that total wave height as it reaches Tasmania is up to 8 to 9 metres, which is a really significant sea height. For well, anyone to be on the water in those conditions is quite dangerous, but in particular, a small vessel, 8 to 9 metre total wave heights are really big seas and quite dangerous.
The gale force winds are expected to hit the fleet in the next 12 hours. The crew of the Minamurra is holed up in Amy's Bay. They're on a high after their last pot, but still only have a handful of lobsters to their name.
I'd really want to make a move and get around the west coast. We're still on the south coast at the moment, but I want to push up a bit. That's what we'd like to do, but the weather's just dictating to us what we can do. We're a bit stuck here at the moment. Yeah. Scratch our heads a bit more and see what we're going to do.
There's plenty of grounds here for us to fish if we do get stuck.
Oh yeah, we'll just keep moving around.
They're catching lobsters, but that's not all they're catching.
Hey, these.
It's a conger eel. They muscle their way into the pots for the bait.
Fuck, I hate them.
They're aggressive by nature and will happily take a finger or two.
And we've got the special hook to get her out. So you got to try and get him in his mouth, hook him up. You wouldn't want to put your finger in their mouth. They don't have sharp teeth, but they got a good clamping pressure.
Clive's got to be careful. He doesn't want to harm the eel or lose a finger.
All right, we're hooking him up. Over he goes. We throw the eels back so that they eat the octopus, and we don't like the octopus because they eat crayfish. It's a bit like the old woman that ate the fly. And then she swallowed the spider, I suppose. What came after the spider? The bird? The cat?
Here's hoping the old lady analogy doesn't end the same way for the Minamurra. The William Norling is hunting at the Harbingers in the Bass Strait. Skipper Danny is after $100,000 worth of big reds. He's bagged 312 lobsters so far. He needs another 288 to reach his total.
First fish of the day. Another one for us.
The William Norling is hands down catching the biggest reds.
Oh, fucking beauty!
They've also caught the single biggest lobster,
Godzilla.
a 4-kilo monster. They're just not catching enough. The problem is the tide.
We're at the Harbingers, which we call the Bangers in slang. It's just northwest of King Island. A lot of tide comes out of Bass Strait, trying to get into Bass Strait and get out of Bass Strait. In between King Island and Cape Otway, it's like a funnel. Sometimes when the wind conditions are like they are, tides can jump a bit. And same as when the wind blows hard like it has been, it'll make the tide run a lot harder. I'm going to have to get wriggling here, Richo, with this fucking gear, matey. It's going to have to really be happening fast. Because I don't want to be here on the flood tide fucking around for hours. So I'm really going to crank into it. He knows we have to make it happen. So, and there's a target. And he's got a target too. Like he's the same as me. He wants every last dollar too.
And the tide is only half the battle. Lobsters don't like feeding in choppy seas, and the storm is closing in. In Dover, Skipper Glenn is keeping a close eye on the weather. His dad Warren is out at Matsyker Island, and that's the last place you want to be when a storm hits. There's the rocks, the gusty winds and the rogue waves. Warren lost his first boat out here.
Last time I was talking to Dad, he was talking about hanging out, so, but I've looked at the weather and it looks ordinary, big swell, so I'm going to give him a ring and tell him he probably should come home because it's just, not worth staying out there. It's bloody going to be real bad.
What's happening with the weather, Glenn? We're just trying to make up our mind what we're going to do.
Yeah, well, it didn't look real bloody bright there before. I'd probably be coming home if I was you. It looked like just a week of absolute shit. After that, there might be a chance of getting another trip out of it.
We're certainly not going to sit there for 4 or 5 or 6 days or something.
No, I don't blame you. I'd be coming home too, old boy, so... well, I better let you get off your sat phone then, and I'll catch up with you when you get in mobile range.
Okay, see you, Glenn. Thanks, mate. Bye, mate.
Happy with that?
You want the good news or the bad news? It's going to be 6, 7, 8 metres for the next 3 or 4 days, they say, so... What do you reckon?
I don't know, I'd rather stay out here and fish.
Feed in the dinghy and a couple of pots, will we?
No, fuck that, don't leave it in dinghy.
Jai wants to stay, but what none of them know yet is that Jai's mum has just been admitted to hospital, about to undergo emergency surgery. The decision Warren makes in the next few moments will affect Jai forever. Stick and stay or head home. The William Norling is racing against the tide.
Well, when there's a bit of tide, they'll be sitting on top of the water. So the tide's moving that way. That'll drag those pots and stretch out the string that's attached to the pot. If there's too much tide, it'll take the floats under the water. And then if I can't see them, I can't grab them.
You've got to beat the tide. The time and tide waits for no man. Richo's going like a train, so we'll keep him busy, I reckon. He's earning his money today. It's good.
Well, that's $300 there. 2. He's equivalent to a good supply of beer for the weekend. 2.
The counter says 40. Still a few to go. Tide's still just cranking up. I just love it, yeah. Fantastic way of life. It's just what I do, you know? It's just, the money's just a bonus.
There's 5 more pots to go.
He's getting pretty cocksure of himself. Gears starting to just bob. Ah, another couple of customers.
Take the bodyguard out.
The numbers are low. Yeah, it's not great, but we're targeting the big fish, and look, the size is good. Big fellas like that, they are the go. We love them. Them big daddies, absolutely.
The crew pulls in their last pot.
What have we got? 3 banger. I'll say that was a bit of a boost.
I'm happy with that.
49 k's, what do you reckon? 90 kilo?
That's a cool $8,500 worth. They beat the tide. But will they beat the storm? Amy's Bay, and the Minamara is hunting close to the rocks. It's a dangerous strategy. Get it wrong and you can lose it all.
I'll just get out of this fluffy stuff. When we're in this white fluffy stuff, there's all air bubbles in the water and the sounder doesn't pick up the bottom properly. You can't see it, and if you're in shallow, you might be heading over rock and you won't see it. You can hit it, which has happened before. Around the corner there at Wilson's, we were going up along the cliffs and air bubbles in the water, couldn't see it, next thing bang. It's not a good feeling. 55-foot steel boat sitting on a rock.
Oh, yes. There's a thumper in that one.
Couple of nice fish there.
Yeah.
A lobster here and a lobster there won't pay the bills. Clive wants to head north.
Hey, look, the sun's coming out.
He sat phones into Hobart for a weather update.
How you going, Graham? It's Clive.
He's trying to decide whether to stay put and sit out the storm or take a punt and head north to more fertile grounds.
All right. Just wondering, there's a bit of a break in the weather, whether we should just get around to Davey and then just hang out there for a couple of days until it finds up. So the swell's going to drop back to 2.5, is it, on Wednesday? God, that's almost a week away.
King Island tide is racing.
Yep.
And because of that, Danny's decided to use longer pot ropes. It takes about an hour to drop a full shot of 50 pots. Danny wants to do that in half the time.
Got the long ropes on still, the 55 fathom ropes, because if your rope's too short, the pot's bounce at the bottom, the crows don't like it, so we're going to use the long ropes again.
He's casting out over a 200-metre radius at varying depths.
Yep.
Once all the pots are set, they'll leave them for about 7 hours to soak and then haul them back in.
You get a bit of everything here. You get big fish, little fish, girls, boys, the whole lot. Yep.
The real skill is where to drop your pots.
When I'm shooting the gear, I've just got to adjust your boat speed for the tide. Yep. Sometimes when there's lots of tide, I've really got to push the boat up a bit harder. It's still the thrill of the hunt. Like, I still enjoy setting the gear more than pulling it. Pull the gear, you catch a crazy, yeah, that's all fun. But the set is the hunt. And even after 25 years, I still stuff it up.
Sometimes when there's only one pot to go, Danny will occasionally suffer from last pot syndrome. He'll just drive around and around and around, trying to find the perfect spot for it.
You're not talking about last pot syndrome,
I am indeed. Did you get your vaccination this year?
No.
Yeah, so we've got a storm coming out of the west, so it looks like we'll be home for at least a week. I don't mind staying home when it's real rough, especially when it's Tassie school holidays and spend some time with the wife and the kids. Oh, here's another one! Oh, yeah!
The bold contender is winning big time, and just in the nick of time.
One to go. Can we please finish off with a big pot?
This will be their very last pot for the run.
Oh, that's another good pot. That's the last pot. We timed it beautifully. We're heading home and we're going to beat the weather. Can't ask for much better than that.
The numbers look good, but they won't know for sure if they've hit their target of 700 kilos until they weigh in at port.
When you got a delivery date, it just puts pressure on you. You know, you wind back the clock 4 days ago and I took it on and I went home to have a sleep and I thought, I think I've done a stupid thing there.
Last pot.
You've got 50 pots, you've got 50 chances. So you try and think like a lobster, you try and think, you know, certain times of the year, where are they at? Are they chasing after the girls? Where are the girls?
So there we go. Probably be sitting here for another 5 minutes waiting for him to find a spot.
Danny's found the perfect spot to drop his last pot. That's last pot syndrome resolved. The Minamurra is on the move, heading north to Port Davey. Amy's Bay was a fail.
We're going to head out and around and take advantage of this bit of a lull in the weather. So we're going to head up to Port Davey. That'll take us about probably 3 hours to get up there. Then it's going to freshen to 35 to 40 knots tomorrow. That's why we're trying to get up there now. So we'll just stick it out for a few days until it finds up. So that's the plan.
They'll be in open sea for about 3 hours until they reach the port. If the storm hits en route, they'll cop it badly. Zach needs to make sure the pots are secure for the ride ahead.
All tied up, mate.
Yeah, cool. Good job.
The swell is up to 5 metres.
I haven't heard any boats on the radio. As far as I know, we're the only ones out here.
The Barralee and the Bold Contender are both motoring home.
So we are all at Pat Malone. Safety's the name of the game. Yeah, we just have to make sure that we don't do anything silly.
The Minamurra is on a collision course with the storm. Will they make it to Port Davey in time? The Barralee is motoring home to Dover to avoid the storm. Older, wiser heads prevailed.
Night time was. Hello, Glenn.
It was a short trip, but their tank is full of big reds.
Yeah, I know.
Tide's nice and high for yous.
Warren's son Glenn is here to help them unload. Glenn's boat is stuck at port with engine trouble.
This could have been us here today unloading 700 or 800 kilo too, so, but anyway, that's, you know, that's just the way it goes. That's the first time I've broke down for a long time, so it would have been nice to be able to be unloading today and have a few crays, but yeah, there's not much we can do about it.
It's a cracking load. The first decent haul of big reds for the season.
Righto, cobber.
Today's price for big reds is $95 per kilo. The lowest it's been all year is $75 per kilo, and the highest, about $110.
Finished up with 856 fish. The value is about 60,000. Not too bad for a week's work, is it? But by the time everything's taken out, there's not a lot left.
He's gone well, old fella, the way the weather and the swell was.
But the catch and the money are the last things on Jai's mind.
I rang Mum and she didn't answer, so I rang Sis, and Sis said, Mum, she's in hospital.
He's just found out his mum has been rushed to hospital for emergency surgery. The Bold Contender has also made it home safely.
We're just heading into our home port of Margate to unload.
Time to find out if they've reached their target of 700 kilos.
Sweet. Toby's just pulling the bolts out to take the top of the tank off so that we can jump in the tank and physically get the lobsters out. That holds 20 tonne of water and it pumps it in every 9.5 minutes.
The lobsters are all sold live.
Hi Charlotte, how are you?
Squizzy's wife Carrie and their two kids Riley and Charlotte come down to welcome him home.
You come to help unload. Have you?
Yeah. It's good to know when he's coming home and see him coming up the channel. Riley's pretty keen and Charlotte to get up here and see him when he comes in. Pretty keen to see him too. That's good.
What did I miss while I was away?
Christmas in July.
Hey mate, how you going?
Lobster buyer Michael Blake, aka Blakey, casts a keen eye over Squizzy's catch.
How would you describe Squizzy as a fisherman?
Pain in the ass. No, Squizzy's one of the best fishermen in the state, for sure. Probably doesn't catch the most redfish, other people do, but the speed at which he catches a fish, the way he works in with us, catches the product when we need it, yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, a couple more bins, Riley. That's one. Where are these going, Mick? China?
China, mate.
Buyer Blakey specifically requested Brindle Lobsters. It's what his client in China wants.
Today's Tuesday. These fish will be in our factory graded today, into China by Friday. Probably someone's function for the weekend. The customer's going to be pretty happy because at the end of last week I told him there was no hope we were going to get these fish. So.
Blakey promised Squizzy $80 per kilo for the catch.
If I don't pay him that, I think he'll lynch me. So, we are trying to get him a bit better if we can.
Yeah. It's what seafood gold looks like. Riley, good job, mate.
What?
Is it boat?
What?
The boat.
Deckhand Tabor's family is also here.
Hi, mate. Dad home, is he?
He turned 2 in February. Suppose you say he's the reason we do what we do.
What do you think you weigh?
700.
711.
711 kilos, so 857 crays went 711 kilos.
A 1.5% overshoot. It's a great result. That's $56,800 gross.
Good job, mate.
Thanks, mate. So 11 kilos over target in 4 days, so pretty good.
That's why I rang you, Squizzy. I don't think anyone else will be able to pull that off for me, mate. It's awesome.
It's always a good feeling to deliver what they ordered. We only just scraped over the line, and it was pressure on the first day, and I haven't felt that pressure for a while, so it does get a bit stressful sometimes, but it was good to get it done, and it's time to go spend some time on land with the family.
The good feeling is not shared by all. Skipper Danny is bracing himself for the storm.
So there's an old saying, they say, mackerel skies in mare's tails, tall ships go to shorter sails. So when you see the sky streaking like that, it looks like a horse's tail when it's running, that's the mare's tails. And at other times in the sky, it looks like mackerel skin. It means it's going to blow. Tall ships go to shorter sails, means they shorten the sails down, so they get ready for bad weather, so they don't blow the rig down. We know that the weather's poor and things are against us a bit, but you still got to go out there and just do your best.
To make matters worse, pot after pot is coming up empty. Danny's not happy.
I reckon I'm too deep, Rick. I think I am too deep. Yeah, I think I am. Ah, 23, 24. I don't know that I'm still not too deep. I'm just sort of out around the edges there a bit, and just the couple of pots we have pulled a bit shallower have been a bit better, so...
We're paying the price for having a gamble on the particular depth.
Hopefully we'll have a few good days to make up for it. That's how, you know, you've got to be optimistic, you know, like I said before, we're gambling, aren't we? Like, we know you don't win all the time, so just how it is. Dead blank. Fuck! Another loser. Two. 22 on the counter, eh? Throbulating, isn't it, eh? Absolutely throbulating.
Gonna have to do, really.
Last pot, she is the lucky last. So, where are we going here today? So it needs to be lucky. Take that, Richo. Not real lively, are they? Look at that thing. Oh, he's alive, but...
Lucky to get that.
Ha! What's that going to give us, 40 kilo?
Yeah. It's always a little bit disenchanting when you don't get what you were hoping for. I mean, we're not out here for the pony rides or the glory of Rome. We're here to make money, and those kind of numbers, the money takes a bit longer to generate.
Big money fish. It's what it's all about.
Specky?
Yeah.
Tell you why the crays love it, eh? Like if they crawl up in those crays.
Yeah.
The Minamara has made it to Port Davey. There's no time to waste.
Yeah, so we're just going to keep them out a little bit off the shore. The swell's supposed to make 4 to 6 metres tomorrow, so that's why we put them in here. At least out here they're going to be safe to get. Righto, Zach. Righto, Zach.
There's just going to be a storm.
Righto.
Well, here she goes.
We've managed to move up the coast a bit.
No!
We're in position so when the weather finds up we can get up the coast a little bit more and hopefully get onto some more lobsters.
They're way behind on their target of 600 lobsters. The William Norling is on 454. The Minamara is on 92. The barrelee bagged 856 and the bold contender came in at 857.
You waiting on the weather too, Squiz, like the rest of us?
Yeah, well, it's shit at the moment.
Yeah, looks like being that way for a few days.
In Hobart, a few of the skippers are catching up over a beer.
Swell hasn't been down for a month, has it, really?
Not really. Well, when it does go back, she's blowing a gale all west, isn't it? So
Squizzy's weather.
Loves it.
Warren has some sobering news.
Sad story about me young fellow was with me, young guy. His dad died a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Sunday night, his mother passed away.
Oh, shit.
You just don't even want a phone call when you're at sea, do you?
Not
you're
like
just
that,
thinking,
anyway.
Oh, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
He made it back before...
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
That's right.
Warren made the right call returning to port.
So I'm glad I got home. It was very, very good to say goodbye. Yeah.
All he wants to do is go fishing.
Yeah.
That's all he wants to do. He was going well too on the boat.
Oh, well, every time I see him on the deck, he's always got a line over the side fishing.
Oh, he's a good young fella too. I mean, heart goes out to him. He really does.
My mum's name was Shelley, and some people called her Shells. She always liked the shells. She loved the beach. We used to come down here when we were all little.
Dad would be pretty proud of me. So would Mum. Just continue to make him proud. When I get my own fishing boat, I'll have to call it after them probably, something like that.
The storm has hit. Thankfully for Clive, the sea is a whole lot calmer in Port Davey.
Nice and toasty in here.
Big effort for little reward.
She's a bit brisk out here,
Bloody hell, when that hail come.
Yeah. How you going with it, all right?
Yep.
Hasn't been a very productive morning.
In weather like this, it's easy to make mistakes.
Got under! Got under!
Clive is motored through the middle of a pair of attached lobster floats. He slams the engine into reverse.
Another white one's on the other side of the boat, I think.
If the rope gets tangled in the Minamara's propeller, it's game over.
Hopefully we've backed off of her.
And with the storm here, things could turn very ugly very quickly.
Yeah, here it is out here, Clive.
There.
Crisis averted for another day.
When you got slack line, couldn't see it. I split the boys that time. I had one boy coming down one side and the other one coming down the other side. So luckily I backed off before I got near the propeller. Otherwise I could have powered her up in the propeller. Good thing Zach spotted that straight away. Thanks, Zach.
No worries. I don't want to be stuck out here.
Yeah, don't want to lose them.
It's a narrow escape for the crew of the Minamara.
Just waiting for the weather to ease up a bit so we can actually get where we really want to go. At the moment, we're restricted by the weather, so that's going to make our trip a bit longer.
The Minamara's horror run is showing no sign of slowing down.
Colour.
There. Not too good so far.
No.
Next time.
Far out. So we need.
Freshwater crisis
Make sure that they're all right.
threatens the Minamara's live haul.
I've really got to keep an eye on the fish in my well. I don't want to lose them.
Yep.
It's monster
Now that's a cray.
after monster for the William Norling.
Lumpy, chumpy, that one. Yeah, absolutely. Got the eyes on the prize.
Red cray, fucking ate him.
And with bold contenders' high-stakes switch for big reds,
Worthless.
backfires.
The stress levels are just rising flat out.